Hello, awesome crew. I hope you're all doing great. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you enjoy these stories, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, or even tapping the notification bell. Let's get started with our first tale. Big thanks, everyone. Our first story hails from the Am I the Jerk? Subreddit, posted by user UnhappyPromise7630. The post reads, Am I the jerk for not letting my sister wear our late mom's jewelry? I'm using a throwaway account since my family is active on Reddit. I'm 23, female, and my sister Abby, 20, have had a rocky relationship since we were kids. After our mom passed away 2 years ago, we've grown a bit closer. Mom didn't leave a will, but Dad gave me her jewelry because I love wearing jewelry daily and have always adored Mom's pieces. Abby, on the other hand, finds jewelry uncomfortable and usually takes it off soon after putting it on. She's also notorious for misplacing things, often forgetting where she leaves them. We'd frequently wait for her before leaving the house because she'd lose track of her stuff. I'd carry her phone and wallet in my bag since she doesn't use one. Next week, Abby's attending a destination wedding and asked to borrow some of Mom's jewelry for the trip. I declined and explained my reasoning. She got upset, saying, "She was my mom too, you can't hog her jewelry." I told her I'm not hoarding it, I just don't want it lost. I rarely wear the jewelry myself to avoid losing it. Our dad thinks I should let her have it to avoid conflict. Some friends agree with me, pointing out Abby's habit of losing small items. To me, it seems like Dad stirred up trouble by giving only one of us the jewelry. I understand why he chose me since I wear jewelry, but without more context, it feels unfair to hand all the sentimental items to one child. A better approach would have been to split the jewelry or at least discuss it with both of us first. User Fit Engineering commented, "It doesn't matter if Abby rarely wears jewelry. She deserves some of Mom's pieces for sentimental reasons. It's not your call to decide if she should have them. Dad should have divided the jewelry between you two. It's unfair that you got it all and won't share. Imagine if Dad gave everything to Abby and she refused to let you have any. How would you feel? She should have her own share of Mom's collection." Another commenter replied, "Agreed. The original poster, OP, made a strong case, but didn't mention what Abby received that OP didn't. It seems lopsided. OP? Did Abby get something you weren't interested in to balance things out?" OP clarified, "Yes, Abby got most of Mom's clothes since they're the same size. We agreed she'd take the clothes, and I'd take the jewelry. Mom loved scrapbooking, so Abby keeps those too." User Entire commented, "You're the jerk, but Dad's the bigger one. It's heartbreaking that he gave you all of Mom's jewelry without considering Abby. Even if she doesn't wear it often, that's no excuse for your actions. Dad put you in a tough spot, but you're being as cruel as he was by gatekeeping the jewelry. If I were you, I'd treat Abby the way Mom would have wanted. I doubt Mom would have been happy with you keeping everything and sharing nothing with her other daughter who's also grieving. This is bigger than jewelry. You and Dad are hurting Abby, and it could damage your relationship." There were plenty of "you're the jerk" and "no one's the jerk" comments, but one user, Burn, took a different stance. Not the jerk. "I've dealt with irresponsible relatives who were given meaningful items and lost them. Dad should have given Abby some pieces, and if she lost them, that'd be on her. But he gave it all to you, so it's yours to protect. You're not wrong for knowing Abby can't be trusted to keep it safe. I'd feel awful if I gave her something and she lost or damaged it, so you're not at fault for refusing." Another user added, "It's not that I don't want Abby to ever wear the jewelry. I just don't want her taking it to a destination wedding in Colorado where it could get lost. She doesn't like jewelry but needs it for the wedding photos as part of the bridal party." OP provided an update. To clarify, Abby doesn't like jewelry and refuses to wear it regularly. She only wanted it for the wedding photos. She chose the clothes and I chose the jewelry. She's fine with me keeping the jewelry since she doesn't want the responsibility. She just wanted to borrow some for the wedding, but I said no, worried she'd lose them. That said, I love Abby and Dad loves her too. That's why she got the clothes. She takes care of things she values, like clothing. I spoke with Abby. There's a decent amount of jewelry, some rarely worn, like Mom's wedding and engagement rings and 2 cross necklaces, and some she wore often. I apologized for my reaction, and she laughed it off, saying she has the memory of a goldfish and understands why I was concerned. She explained she'd only wear the jewelry for the ceremony and photos, then take it off. I agreed to let her borrow a small jewelry bag to keep it safe in her purse. We picked pieces that matched her bridesmaid dress, and it turned into a great bonding moment. We sipped coffee, reminisced about Mom, and shared childhood memories. I gave her an old jewelry box of mine, and she plans to keep the jewelry in it in her car after the ceremony. I also gave her one of the cross necklaces to hang on her rearview mirror as a keepsake to remember Mom, like a sisterly memento. Now, on to another situation. Last summer, I bought my grandparents' house, a childhood hangout for me and my friends, including Dave. The property has a lake and gazebo. I was supposed to buy it with my ex-girlfriend Leslie, but while getting approved for the purchase, I discovered she had hidden massive credit card and personal debt during our 4-year relationship. I ended things 6 months ago. I met Leslie through Dave's fiancée, Kim, who's Leslie's cousin. Dave and Kim asked to hold their April wedding at my gazebo, and I agreed. Since December, I've started dating again, but Leslie hasn't taken it well. She believes we'll reconcile and has tried to make it happen. I've been clear that it's over. Dave and Kim asked me not to bring a +1 to the wedding to spare Leslie's feelings. I called this absurd. It's my property, and I can't bring a date because of my ex. If that's their stance, they need to find another venue. They're upset since the wedding's so close, and we're at a stalemate. Am I the jerk? OP added an edit addressing comments. I'm aware of liability concerns, so I bought a special event insurance policy, reimbursed by Dave and Kim, covering up to $2 million for damages or injuries. The wedding will have up to 75 guests, 5 catering staff, and 5 security staff to manage the open area. The property has handled larger events without issues. There are 2 cottages with bathrooms and a basement with 2 more bathrooms. The rest of the house will be locked. All single guests, including me and Leslie, got +1s. After I RSVP'd with a +1, Dave and Kim asked me not to bring one because Leslie was upset and might cause a scene. Leslie RSVP'd with a +1, but I don't know if she'll bring someone. A top commenter suggested, do an Uno reverse. Say Leslie isn't allowed on your property and watch their reactions. OP replied, the petty side of me considered saying Leslie can't come to my house, so it shouldn't be an issue. Another asked if OP or Leslie are in the wedding party. OP clarified, Leslie is in the wedding party. Dave's groomsmen are his brothers. A downvoted commenter said, this is tough. I'm leaning toward everyone sucks here, but it's close to no one being the jerk. It's your house, and you're doing them a favor, but is bringing a date after 2 months of dating worth ending your friendship? Leslie's the bride's family. Could you go solo for one day or bring a friend instead of a romantic partner to avoid drama? If it wasn't your venue, would you expect to bring a date? Did you mention this condition when you offered the house? Telling them to find a new venue now could end your friendship. OP responded, I don't see this as a major condition. All single friends got +1s, including Leslie. I'm the only single person they don't want to bring one. I expect to be treated like other guests. Dave and I have been close since we were 3, but this makes me feel like a stranger. If I'd known they'd treat me this way, I wouldn't have offered my land. To another commenter, OP said, the past 6 months have been drama because of Leslie. Everyone at the wedding is tied to it. My new partner isn't, and I want someone I can relax around. All I'm asking is for them to tell Leslie to act like an adult for a few hours. Instead, they'd rather I be uncomfortable. On security, OP explained, the wedding's outside on unfenced land. Strangers could wander in, so security is to keep them out. On Leslie's debt, a commenter asked if OP was entitled to her financial details. OP replied, I'm entitled to honesty. Leslie misrepresented her finances after initiating money talks 6 months into our relationship. She called her credit card debt small, but it was $50,000 plus $30,000 in student loans and $20,000 on a car. We could have paid it off in 3 years, but her lying broke my trust. A week later, OP updated, I met with Dave for 2 hours. I told him he's been a lousy friend, listing issues from our history that make me question our bond. We discussed the breakup with Leslie and the chaos since. I've avoided places she frequents, ignored her late-night visits to my house, and stayed silent about her false claims that I cheated or took advantage of her financially. Dave knows this but still wants me to prioritize Leslie's feelings. I told him to stop treating her like a child. He admitted she's been irrational but said she needs closure and wants to discuss her progress paying off $10,000 of her debt to change my mind. It won't. I said I won't speak to her at the wedding, blocked or not. Dave said she might lose it if we don't talk, so I told him Leslie can't come to my property if she's that unstable. Dave exploded, saying he doesn't need my crap, so I canceled the wedding at my place. User Undebatable Mum commented, the wedding day isn't for closure. Your friends are fine with Leslie derailing their event for her own needs. User Book Geek said, Live your life. Stop avoiding places. Clarify why you broke up, and gather evidence for a restraining order if needed. Explain why the wedding's off, as they'll paint you as the villain. OP replied, "My peace matters." I offered a solution. Leslie doesn't come, and I'd even skip the wedding to be fair. Talking to her disrupts my peace. A downvoted commenter said, "You mishandled this. Starting with every grievance against Dave, put him on edge before discussing Leslie." OP clarified, "It wasn't about Leslie. It was about my friendship with Dave. I'm done with Leslie discussions." Another commenter suggested OP's wealth might influence dynamics. OP denied being wealthy, explaining he grew up middle class with grandparents, funded college through scholarships and work, and lives frugally in a rural area. He said Dave often got his way, and OP's shock was realizing Dave doesn't care about his feelings. 3 months later, OP updated. After my talk with Dave, mutual friends reached out, but I ignored them. Dave contacted my grandparents, who urged me to resolve it. I didn't. Dave's mom reached out, offering to listen. We met on my porch, and I shared everything: the breakup, the +1 drama, and my decision to cancel the wedding. I got emotional, and she hugged me. She hadn't known why Leslie and I split, had heard cheating rumors, which she didn't believe, and was sad because she'd hoped for a future with us. She called Dave a jerk, but empathized with Leslie, sharing her own post-breakup struggles. She suggested Leslie needs therapy. I sent a mass text and email detailing why the wedding was off, warning I'd call police if anyone showed up. Friends apologized for their role, and it emerged Dave lied to Kim, claiming he begged me to keep the venue. Dave apologized, but I said we shouldn't talk for a while. Leslie's family blames her for the wedding chaos and the dates in limbo. A commenter asked why Dave prioritizes Leslie. OP said Dave's doing Kim's bidding. Kim wants Leslie and OP to reconcile. Another asked about Leslie's debt. OP said it built up over years, but the issue was her lying, not the debt itself. On rumors, OP said he doesn't know who started them and doesn't care. He just wants peace. The top comment praised Dave's mom for listening without judgment, helping OP feel heard. Another said, "Trust is earned slowly but lost quickly." What's your take on this? Share below. Thanks for joining me today. Your support means everything. See you in the next one. Take care.